So tonight we've got the Elite Dangerous premiere. We've got over 1,000 people who've come to Duxford Imperial War Museum to see this launch party for the game, to meet David Braben, enjoy the game, meet other people from the community and basically have a really good time.
I have the pleasure of attending the premiere event in honour of Elite Dangerous, which is, it's been a long time coming, I think. Some would say 2 years, but I'd see it more as sort of 30 years, really.
I'm here because I was invited as Elite Dangerous Ambassador, but also a Kickstarter backer of Elite and a fan of the original game from 1984. Played it on the BBC Micro when I was a teenager.
My father is an old Elite fan, and I heard they were making a new version, so I told my father, and he immediately wanted to support it, and well, now we're here.
For me, it was just the chance to play this reincarnation of a game that I played when I was a teenager. I used to be in a wardrobe with my friend. One of us was controlling the ship, one of us was shooting the missiles and the lasers, and it was an amazing thing. And to go back to it again now with a modern PC and to have a real galaxy reimagined on a one-to-one scale, it really excites me. I'm thrilled to be here, honestly.
I started playing Frontier when I was 11 or 12, and it's been a big part of my life. I still play the Elite 2 now, and I've put thousands of hours into it, so it's kind of a no-brainer, really.
Well, I played Elite on the ZX Spectrum when I was 6 or 7, back from 1984. I loved it. I mean, it's pretty much defined my gaming career since then. And for a new version, which we've all been waiting years and years for, it's just a wonderful experience,
Because it's Elite Dangerous. I played when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and when I heard that they were producing or wanting to produce another game, had to put money in, had to.
Well, I've known David Braben for a while and followed the genesis of this latest project and been really excited by what it says about the boldness, really, still of the British games industry and various people in it, and also the excitement about the sort of the legacy of this game. Anyone who's read, there's a great book called The Backroom Boys, which has got a whole chapter about Elite and its development in the 1980s. And it's such a thrilling story that it came out of Cambridge in particular, and that the people behind it are still working and producing really inventive material. I just think it's a great story.
What I find extraordinary, right, is that this game is exponentially smaller. The whole game, Elite, first generation, exponentially smaller than the image that I put on Twitter. Like, if I took a picture of you now, what would it be, 1.5 meg? 48 or 43 or 44K, something like that. The whole game. And in my mind, when I was 15, right, on the BBC Micro, it looked like that. This is what's amazing. I'm pointing at the 4K version over there. The game looked, in my mind, like it does actually physically for real now. So that's what I think is interesting. What the team at Frontier, what David has done, is joined the dots, filled in the blanks, painted in the numbers for what was already there, mentally, in the imagination of gamers. And I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It's such an extraordinary achievement. It's actually a piece of art, and it fits really well here in Duxford, next to these incredible creations with the beautiful mood lighting and these massive, inventions that are also as quintessentially British, many of these aircraft, as the game. I'm overwhelmed by it.
It was revolutionary at the time, I think.
It was revolutionary.
It was, you remember, we were 11 years old at the time, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was
open-ended, not having 3 lives, not having a high score, not having the game over sign come up. The fact that you can just go anywhere, do anything, no rules.
It's like a good book is an imagination. This was a good game that let your imagination go as well.
And your imagination did run right. I mean,
pretty much.
You were in that pilot ship. You were thinking of what that pilot was doing that was shooting at you. If you just filled it all in, and it was amazing. Oh, it really was.
I think just the ability to explore, to sort of go out there. I'm part of a gaming community, and we want to sort of be able to do things as a group. Cooperate within the game, trade, explore, share information. It's a game where really there's no kind of limitations. It's a completely open universe.
First time I started playing Elite Dangerous, I immediately just fell in love. It was one of the best games I've probably ever seen.
So far, this game has definitely impressed me a lot more than anything else that I could have bought this year, actually. I think this is probably the best game of 2014 in my opinion.
It's a great game, very complex, you can do so much things, and I'm really excited to play the whole game.
It's amazing today, comparing to what I played about 25 years ago. So it's fantastic today.
My son, who's 7, came with me. How many games are there that ignite the passion of people of my age? My brothers are behind me. And also you're allowed to get your kids to play them. It doesn't involve blood and guts and foul language and pornography. I mean, I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant. He docked for the first time. I mean, what a proud moment. There was a tear in a geek's eye.
Oh, it's incredible just being able to see them as they've gone with from just getting the basics in to generating the galaxy to building the ships, all the little moving parts, the gears, the gun ports opening up, the heat sinks, the flaps opening and closing. Just being able to shoot out the engines of your opponent's ship and actually see the damage being done. It's just mind-blowing what is being done.
Probably the fact that you can take it at your own pace, and there's so much detail there. You can get lost in it.
And it just keeps expanding, you know, it goes on and on and on. Just when you think you've got all the features in the game, they release something else, and it just keeps you interested every time.
I'm not terribly bothered about fighting. I hope to be a kind of privateer in the game. So, you know, finding out what's needed in various systems, black market items, and, you know, making a killing.
It doesn't actually force you to do anything. It's up to you. It gives you the universe. It's up to you how you play.
It looks even better than I imagined it to. It just looks... The amount of detail there is incredible.
And I think this really chimes with a kind of new spirit. We had the Philae landing, we had the Rosetta comet landing recently, we've had that movie Interstellar coming out. I think there's a great romance about space exploration, and this kind of feeds into that.
I'm an amateur astronomer as well, so yes, it's nice to see the real stars out there.
I'm more anticipating not only the game being released, what are the plans are going forwards. I mean, it is an online game, and quite rightly so, it should be. It should be something that evolves over time, and that's what really excites me. That's where you can't get your grasp around it, because it should be like the real world. You can't get your grasp around the real world. It's the same with this game. It's really astonishing.
When you start up Elite Dangerous and you're in the cockpit of a Cobra Mark III, I mean, you almost shed a tear. It's like coming home. It's amazing. You know, you really are back in the universe. All the same stuff that you saw before is there, but in awesome high fidelity. And you just feel right back in the world in it, and it's great.
I think this is probably the best game launch I've ever been to. And I've been to some big ones. I was at the launch for Connect in Los Angeles, in the biggest basketball stadium in the world, with my poncho on it, which, along with every other poncho, which there was about 100,000 or 40,000 or something, all glowed and formed a screen. This beats it. I was on a beach in LA when they launched one of the Call of Duty games, and they had the Marines coming in helicopters. This is better. This is better. Because also, the man on stage, bless him, he's an OBE as of yesterday. I mean, this is a hugely important evening for gaming in the UK. So special, so privileged to be here.
Yeah, it's released on the 16th, and from then on to the new year at least, that's all I'm going to be doing.